Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about conditional visibility in Adalo. This is a way that you can show or hide things in your app based on conditions in your data. Let me give you an example. So let's say right now I have this baby Yoda back here in the background. Let's say if you're a Star Wars fan, you can see this guy. But let's say that I set a condition where if you're not a Star Wars fan, there he goes, he's gone. So that's conditional visibility, really simplified. First of all, let me put my baby Yoda back on the shelf. Awesome. Let's get started with this. So I've built a basic app just for starters here. Let me walk you through what we have on screen already. And keep in mind, this is just kind of like a demo. So we're not building out all the features, but basically we're making a really simple social media feed here on this homepage. So what I've got is my standard users collection. I've added a couple fields. So I added a photo field. That way we could have a profile photo. And I've added this true or false property called admin. So this way I can track whether or not I've set myself as an admin. We're going to use this for one of our conditional visibility features. Because when you're doing social media, you might run into this where you need admins or moderators that have the ability to remove or delete a post. But you don't want anyone to be able to remove or delete any posts. So this is where conditional visibility comes in. All right, so that is my data. Let me add another collection. Let's call this posts. Oops, if I can spell it. Perfect. So we've got the post. Let's just call the text the body. We'll have the body of the post. And then let's add a relationship to users. We're going to call this the author. And then let's add another relationship to users. What I'm going to do is this many-to-many relationship because we actually want to track who is liking this post. So this is a pretty standard feature for social media feeds. We'll call this likers. Okay, cool. So we've got the post body, the author, and likers. I think that's all we're going to need, but we will find out. Let's go ahead and make a sample post just so we've got something to work with. Let's say I'm a huge All right, cool. I will set myself as the author on that one. Okay, hit done. So let's just see what we've got so far. I'm already logged into this app. We'll just take a peek. Okay, nothing. Right, that's because we haven't actually linked anything in our list. Let's do that. So now that we have our data ready, we can link our list to posts and just go in real quickly tie in all this data. So I want to pull in the current post author's photo. I want to pull in the current post author's full name, and then of course the current post body. Okay, let's jump back into preview and look at this. Great. Okay, so we've got a sample post here. Let me close out and let's add in the option to delete this post that we're only going to have available for admins. So what I might want to do is in my list, go into the components and add a new component. And let's just grab, actually, let's do this. Let's just search it. Let's grab an icon and put it over here in the top corner. Perfect. Let's change this to this trash bin. And perfect. So let's come check out our data here. We've got users. I'm the only user right now. I'm set as an admin, but just to demo this, let's set myself as not an admin, just a normal user. And then for this trash bin, right now it's going to be visible for just anyone. It's a part of our list. Let's set the conditional visibility. So to do this, you just have to click the ellipses up here next to the name of your component and click on change visibility and change it to sometimes visible. Now we have the option to change the visibility rule. So Adalo makes this pretty easy. They start off with a sentence, will be visible if, and then give this drop down. So we can kind of just treat this like plain English. Will be visible if, and what I want to do is find the current user's admin status. So we'll do logged in user admin. And then because it knows that this is a true or false field, it just gives us this is true or is false. So reading this out, will be visible if the logged in user admin field is true. That is perfect. So this trash bin now is only going to show up if the logged in user is an admin. Okay, so we know I'm not. Let's hop into preview mode. And you see there is no trash bin here. We'll do that one more time. No trash bin. So this is perfect because just a normal user won't be able to delete a post. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and add the action to delete the current post. All right, now what I'm gonna do is make myself an admin. That way I can see the trash bin option and have the choice to delete the post. So let's go into the database, go to users, set myself to an admin, and go back into preview mode. And there we go. Now I can delete this post. Okay, so let's do a couple other things with conditional visibility, because it's not always that you want a action to be available to an admin versus other users not having that access. And there's other ways you can set the conditional visibility rule too. So to demonstrate this, let's add a like feature to the posts where a user can come in and like a post like you would in, any social media. So I'm going to add, actually, let's go into our list. I'm going to add a new component. We're going to do an icon, and we're going to put it at the bottom here. Let's put it right there. And we're going to have to adjust our layout a little bit. So you see, since my new icon now is overlapping with the bottom border, I can just select the bottom border by clicking around. Sometimes it's hard to get those since they're pretty thin. So as a reminder, you can go into components, click on this line, and you'll be selecting it. And I'm just going to use the down arrow key to nudge it down to the right spacing. So I've got it now, and I'm going to change this icon to this heart, which by the way is called favorite, and this one is favorite dash border. So if you're searching for it, favorite is the way to go. And we're going to start with the not liked state. So this is the icon that's going to show up when the post has not been liked. Okay, and let's do this. We also want an icon to show up when the post has been liked that looks a little bit different. So I'm going to hold down Option on my keyboard and click and drag to copy this heart and put it directly beneath the other one. And we're going to change the style a little bit. So we're going to switch it first. Let's choose the filled in heart. And then let's give it a color, maybe this pinkish red color. There we go. All right, and then one more time, let's move our line down a little bit to make some room for this. Okay, cool. So now we need to add our actions and conditional visibility to these heart icons. So first of all, let's start with conditional visibility. Let's say this outlined heart is only going to be visible if the current post likers, so we're looking at the list of people who have liked the post, does not contain the logged in user. So if I'm not on that list, then this heart is going to show up. But now we also need to set the conditional visibility on the other heart, and we need to do the exact opposite. So we want this to be visible if the current post likers does contain the logged in user. So if I've already liked this, I'm going to see this heart. Here's where the real power of conditional visibility is coming in, because now I can set an action on each of these hearts that change the status of me liking this post. Basically, I'm just adding and removing myself from that list of likers. So for the first heart, if I currently don't like this post, if I tap it, I want the action to update the current post. And in the likers, I want to add the logged in user. So that's what happens when we tap the not liked heart state. And then on the other side of things, for this filled in heart, when I tap it, I want the current post to remove the logged in user from the likers. So now what we have here is I can tap, back and forth between these two over and over again and keep changing my status. So I think we've all accidentally liked something on social media and then had to tap it again to remove ourselves from that list and unlike it essentially. That's how you can do it in Adalo. So let's take a look at this really quick and just see how this looks. So we've got our heart here. I haven't liked this post. Currently, it's just that grayed out state. So I'm going to tap it. And you can see that conditional visibility takes over. And what happens is now, because we are on the list of likers, it's not going to show that grayed out heart. It's instead going to show this red one. And if I tap it again, exact same opposite. It's going to go back to the state it was. So that's pretty cool. Now let's add another feature here. So I'm going to hop out. Let's add ourselves a little bit of text that shows how many people currently like the post. Okay, so let's go into our components and we'll add another. We'll just add some text here. And we're going to make this a little smaller. Let's go into the formatting. Let's do like a 12. And we'll do a normal weight. Okay, so for this text, what do we want it to say? So we want to say that we're going to use magic text to get the current post likers count. So this is just going to be a number of however many people are on that likers list. So what we can do with this magic text field is we can add a suffix and a prefix. For this instance, we just want to add a suffix, and you can actually distinguish between a singular suffix and a plural suffix. So the singular suffix would show up if the count is 1, so or 1 or 0. So if we do a singular suffix, we'll want to do like this, and then a plural suffix will do, oh, I did this backwards actually. We want to do likes this, and plural suffix would be like this. So it would read out like this. 1 likes this, or 2 like this. So Adalo will kind of give you that option so you can set a pretty dynamic set of text around your number here. Okay, and then let's just see what that looks like. Let's go into preview mode. Okay, so let me unlike this really quick. I wanted to kind of actually show you one of the caveats of conditional visibility. So right now you see that this heart is not active, and we see the text next to it like we've designed in the app. But as soon as we set the heart to active, the text gets bumped over to the left and the heart is underneath it, which is not the look we were going for. The reason this happens is because if you remember, when we activate this red heart, we like the post, this gray one disappears. So what happens is the text takes over the space that used to be filled by the gray heart, goes left to right here. So if there's something to the right of the thing that you are hiding with conditional visibility, whatever is to the right of it is going to fill in that space. So we don't want it to work like that because it looks pretty weird. When we like something, the count gets slid over and is on top of the heart, but we can get around this. So all we need to do is we need to add this same text field to the other heart and group them together and treat these kind of like their own custom element. Instead of hiding and showing the hearts, we'll hide and show the groups of the heart plus the label. Okay, so to group these together, let's go in and duplicate the label that we have. So I'm just going to hold Alt or Option and click and drag. I'm also holding Shift to keep it vertically aligned. That way it doesn't slide to the left and right as I drag it. I'm just going to line it up with this heart. And then first, before we make these groups and set the conditional visibility, I actually want to remove the visibility rules that we set on the hearts because we're going to set them on the groups instead and we won't need them here anymore. So we're just going to change them to always visible. Okay, great. Now let's group together the heart and label fields. So I'm going to multi-select just by holding Shift and clicking and do make group. And we're going to do the same thing for the one on the bottom. And now let's set the conditional visibility on the groups. So the same rules that we used for the hearts will apply here. We'll do this gray heart is only visible if the current post likers does not contain the logged in user, and vice versa down here. The red heart will only be visible if the likers does contain the logged in user. Okay, and now let's go into preview mode and check this out. So we can see that this has already been fixed because this label is now to the right of the red heart. And what's happening now is the whole group, the heart and the label, is being hidden and shown as we click between these. So this is great, but this is a little depressing, seeing this at 0 like this. Maybe we don't want people to feel down on themselves when no one's liked their post yet. So we can actually do conditional visibility nested within another group that has conditional visibility. So let's do this. Let's hide the label that shows the count of people who like things if the count is less than 1. If no one's liked it yet, we're not even going to show that. We'll just have the heart. So I can do this by double clicking in till I get to the label that I want to affect. And we don't need to set it on this label because as soon as somebody likes it, it's going to show up anyway. So we only need to show it in this label here. So we're going to change the visibility, and we're only going to show it if the current post likers count is greater than 0. Okay, awesome. So now let's go back into preview and check this out. All right, no more depressing text. So it doesn't say 0 like this. We tap it and now it says 1 likes this. And the same would go on, however many users we have tapping and liking this post, it would automatically update with the number there. So that's conditional visibility. Hopefully this was really helpful. I think conditional visibility, when you pair it with lists and you pair it with filtering, you can get really specific on how the app works for certain users. So I think it's an awesome feature in Adalo. If you have any questions or need anything, please send me a message. I would be happy to chat. Bye.